Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Port Charles Tap for the week of November 11th through the 15th. I'm Mom.
I'm Brandon.
Thank you for joining us again today. Let's see, we've had a lot of exciting things happen this week, so I'll get ready to get started and give you the top 10 or 11 things that occurred. First of all, finally, there is an election. So Drew wins the election. Um, After Drew wins the election and everyone's congratulating him and everything like that, Michael runs into Jason at the bar, and he tells Jason about Willow and Drew along with the nanny cam. And so Jason actually thinks about this, and he actually ends up getting into a fight with Drew. Um, he kind of makes him all bloody and everything. So anyway, Drew decides not to press charges against Jason, and everyone kind of wonders why. Jason just says Drew knows why. Um, Many of the Quartermains did witness the short fight. Rick comes over later, and Rick and Drew have a talk, and Rick sees of course, Drew's face, and asks whether or not he wants to press charges against Jason, and Drew once more says no. He just wants Jason to kind of not say what went on, and so Rick does go to Jason later and tries to threaten him per se, but Jason's not having any of that. And so at this point in time, it ends with charges not being pressed against Jason. All right. Did I leave anything out for that particular storyline, Brandon?
Not to my knowledge.
All righty. And then we go on to another big storyline in regards to Robert and Holly. Um, Both Robert and Holly, they realize that they're in love with each other. But in the midst of all that, Holly knows that she's actually running from something. And so the WSB is there to help her if needed. If anything, the WSB is really just there to help her to leave town. And so she confesses everything to Anna, and Robert and Holly end up leaving town together. And in the midst of all that, Robert does give a leave of absence, and he sends that to apparently everyone he knows. Christina gets into a minor car accident earlier in the week, and then Natalia is there and kind of witnesses the accident. They do decide to tell Sonny, and so Christina does tell Sonny about her car accident. He does encourage her to tell Alexis, and later on, Christina does go later that week to tell Alexis about the car accident. Christina and Alexis really have a nice conversation, but then Christina does ask Alexis in order to get some help in regards to the court case against Ava. And I think, quite honest, I had almost forgotten about the court case against Ava. And so anyway, so they talked about that, and Alexis isn't quite as thrilled with everything that Christina has said in regards to this court case against Ava. But regardless, I think that Alexis is going to help her daughter as best as she can, or at least prepare her for the court case. In the meantime, Molly goes to Bobby's, and there she meets Isaiah. She's never met Isaiah before, and was not aware that Isaiah was the one who operated on Lulu. And so, but they had a nice conversation. It was Molly's birthday, and so they bonded a little bit and had a great conversation. Um, at the end of that particular episode, at the end of that episode, um, Christina comes in, and she goes to see Molly, and she does have a birthday gift for her, and so they had a nice sister moment at that time period. Later on that week, we have Lucky and Sunny actually end up meeting. They kind of meet. They end up speaking to each other at the fighting ring, which I believe Sunny owns. But anyway, so they have a talk, and then Lucky also speaks to Elizabeth that week also. And then to both of them, Lucky says that he's ready to leave town. And both of them have said, both meaning both Liz and Sunny, suggest to Lucky that he really should not leave town at this time. He needs to really think about his options. Isaiah is called into a meeting with Terry, and he is offered a job at General Hospital. They don't say whether or not he accepts this week, but we have a feeling he's he's leaning towards accepting. And then at the end of the election, at the end of the election day, Curtis speaks to Portia in regards to a position in Drew's company. And right now he's acting CEO. And in Curtis's mind, he is going to be the CEO because Drew will be living in Washington, D.C. However, we hear in another conversation that Drew ends up giving the CEO job to, or at least offering the CEO job to Michael. And so we're left not know where we're left. The audience knows what's going on to Drew and to with Drew and Michael. However, the Curtis is not aware that this job is being offered to Michael. And then in the midst of all that, Trina meets a new man. So, Brandon, that is everything I had that went on this week. Do you want to add anything?
Well, the only thing I have to add, I remembered one extra detail of the first item, and that is that Lois is playing a guessing game as to what is the secret everyone's holding from her.
Yes, Lois does not have any idea about what secret Michael, Willow, and the whole family knows that she doesn't know about.
Not to be confused with the secret Chase has.
Oh yes, Chase has another secret. Chase has a secret too because Chase and Brooklyn want to have a baby. Anything else, Brandon? Was that it?
I think that's all.
All right, so let's go now to our storylines of the week. So I know I said a lot, and so let's see if we can break this down to the bit. To me, the top storylines of the week that occurred. First of all, is Drew and Willow, and it has to do with really their storyline and how everything's kind of stemming from that. And then we have Alexis and Christina because they did have a nice conversation. I think that their conversation was very important in the week and how they're beginning to bond together again. And then Holly and Robert, because so much kind of came after that fact with both of them leaving. And so that affected so many people. So those are those three storylines of the week for me. Brandon, what are your three storylines of the week? Or what are your storylines for the week? Or do they differ?
I don't think they really differ. I mean, like we said, we have the election and the fallout of it. We have actually, I'd almost throw Molly and Christina up there in their own separate but yet together storylines, and yeah. So I mean, more or less, not really differing much from what you said.
Alrighty. Now, the actress of the week. I had to think long and hard about this because there were so many different things kind of going on this week. It was a lot there, but then a lot of nothing, but then a lot at the same time. And so I ended up saying that Anna, Robert, and Holly ended up being my actress of the week. I really liked the way they kind of put the storyline together. Although I will say I like the way they brought it together. Let's put it that way. I don't like that Scorpio left, but I like the way they brought them together. And I really like the relationship that Holly and Anna started to have with each other. Because I mean, at the end, it ended up being kind of I was tickled at the end. All right, Brandon, what are your thoughts of our actors of the week?
Well, I fully agree with those three, and yes, Robert, Holly, and Anna were the three that I were going to choose. Although I'm going to give an honorable mention, shockingly, to Natalia.
Oh wow, why Natalia?
Well, I really like the conversation that she had with Christina, especially given that, as she mentioned, she's not winning any Mother of the Year awards anytime soon. However, I like that she acted motherly to Christina, something that we didn't see her do with boys.
Okay. Sounds good. And then this is the week for me for a lot of touching storylines. And so I've got four that I've written down so far. And first of all, I have Jason and Danny. I like the nice conversation that both of them had. Jason and Danny talked about where he was going to live, and Danny kind of gave his thoughts about where he thought he needed to live. And then Jason and Spinelli had a nice little story, a nice little conversation also because Jason wants the best for his son, and so he got some advice from Spinelli, and they had a nice conversation about that. Diane and Alexis had a really, really nice conversation, and I like the way they bonded. Alexis, has well, Diane on storyline. We have not seen Diane come to Alexis yet to kind of give her condolences with Sam, and it's like she knew that Alexis was going to come to her. And so they were at the office and they worked, and Diane knew exactly what she needed to do to kind of give comfort to Alexis. And so that I thought that was a nice storyline there. And then the last touching storyline that I have for the week has to do with Molly and Christina. On Molly's birthday, Christina came with a necklace, and they had a nice scene where she kind of puts the necklace on Christina. Well, Christina puts the necklace on Molly, and I just thought that was really nice. There were hardly any words between them. It was just more so a nice gesture and a nice way to say happy birthday. Brandon, did you have any touching scenes of the week?
Well, of course, to add on to those, like I just mentioned with Sunny, Natalia, and Christina.
All right, that sounds good. All right. And then amusing storylines. There were quite a few amusing little storylines that went on for me. First of all, Diana and Anna had a really nice storyline at the bar. And so I liked both of them as they were talking about Holly and Robert and the relationship they all have with each other. And so I liked that one. Let's see, as for other amusing storylines, Anna and Holly, like I mentioned they also had a nice storyline. And then Maxie and Nina had an interesting storyline in regards to Drew. Maxie wants Nina to confess and just tell Willow everything, and Nina's not having any of that. And then um, and then Maxie had a few words with Drew. They were very short words, but it was just interesting to kind of see how she kind of addressed him. So those are my amusing storylines of the week. Brandon, what did you have?
Well, first of all, before I give mine, I will say that we do have to acknowledge the conversation that Ned and Michael had.
Oh yes, we do. Go ahead, Brand. Tell us about that conversation.
So for that, after Drew got punched, Ned was asking Michael, "It's like you told Jason." It's like, yeah, of course. It's like he takes matters into his own hands. You don't tell Jason that type of thing. Um, so I like that. But I will say that for me, mine is a one-liner, and it is Terry to Isaiah mentioning that one of the perks of the job at General Hospital is that it's less of a home for homicidal warlords to go after you. And I
Yeah,
mean, that's, I think, one perk that you have for the position.
just one perk. Although I think we've seen them come through General Hospital, but we can claim that's one perk. Yeah. All righty. And then my fast forward moment of the week is still Willow. I'm sorry. It was just Willow for me this week. Um, the one thing that bothered me of what Willow did was the fact that she was kind of at Drew's election ceremony. She says her marriage is in jeopardy. If she was that worried about her marriage, I don't think she would have been there at that particular ceremony. You see, Michael wasn't. All right, Brandon, did you have a fast forward moment of the week?
Well, I did want to say, first of all, I'm sort of amused that you chose just Will and not Will and Drew.
Well, I will have to say it was just Willow for me because I really like Jason and Drew, and I kind of like the way the family were kind of dealing with Drew. So for this week, it's just Willow. Maybe next week will be both of them. Who knows? All right, what do you think?
Yeah, probably just Will. Although I will say, but part of the amusing thing is that it seems Michael was just showing that video to everybody.
Yeah, he is. He's just showing that nanny cam, and at least they explained the nanny cam to say that it was new. The weird thing I have is who is really watching their children because they're just leaving those children alone all the time. We can assume it's with a nanny, but we have not seen a nanny.
Yeah, and where's Ava's kid?
Yeah, I mean, who's watching Avery? We supposedly Sunny, but Sunny's all around the place. We don't see, and Carly doesn't have Avery, and we know that Ava doesn't have Avery, so who knows where Avery is? So they're just children roaming around the general hospital. Maxie seems to have all the kids every time we turn around. But anyway, and then we have Welcome Back. So this week, Welcome Back to Chase. I didn't realize he was gone. But welcome back to Chase. Glad he's back. Let's see. And then we have a new character alert. We had on Tuesday two new characters who were just popped in, and they will be apparently working with Trina. And then one of them, by the way, they're kind of making it sound out, will be a new love interest for Trina. But we began General Hospital with these two strange boys who were just talking. And it was like, oh, okay, who are you? So anyway, so introducing Kai to the storyline. who is a partner supposedly of Trina's in one of her assignments that she needs to complete. And Kai is a star football player. Everyone seems to know who it is except for Trina, and and he's liked by all except for, of course, Trina. So that's my welcome back and my hi. Here's the new character. All right, Brandon, did you have any hi? Who's the new characters or welcome backs?
Did we get a name of Kai's friend?
I probably did, but I didn't pay attention to it.
But yeah, I think that was the main uh, welcome back for for me. I don't think we've had anyone. Although I think this is the first time in a moment that we've got not necessarily seeing her, but got a actual storyline of sorts for Lois.
Yeah, Lois has been MIA for a little bit. She's been here and there, but to actually have her say some lines, it's been a little while. And then we say goodbye, of course, to Robert and Anna. They are disappearing for I don't know how long. Did we say goodbye to anyone else this week?
Well, I think it's a little premature to say goodbye to Anna, but we are saying goodbye to Holly.
Oh, good gracious. I am so sorry. So we say goodbye to Holly and Robert of this week and not Anna. So please, whoever's watching this, I did not mean Anna, is Holly. And I sure wrote down, I'm tired, guys. And then let's see. As for next week, to see who we're looking forward to. Uh, let's see. We got Lulu wakes up next week, at least according to the sources that I've seen online. Lulu and a new actress will be there, and then I'd like to see the fallout between Drew and Jason to see how that kind of comes along, and then of course we'll have Sam's memorial next week also. All right, Brandon. Any storylines that you're looking forward to for next week?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious about this whole thing for Sam's funeral, and how they're going to portray that. I mean, especially given that two of her exes, Jason and Drew, are brothers that are punching each other, and the homes of their children, apparently. So I am curious as to how that's going to go, because I guess it's what they say tomorrow, and Drew looking in the way that he does. I, I'm hoping that it doesn't take too much attention away from Sam, and I'm curious if they're going to use any flashbacks or if we've seen them all already.
Yeah, I would really like to see some flashbacks there. I think that Sam does deserve to have some flashbacks in this particular for the memorial service. So hopefully they will give some flashbacks to her.
But yeah, because I mean, we've seen her picture here and there throughout the last couple of weeks, since her final scene. So I'm hoping that they've saved up some room for, like I said, for these flashbacks, and I'm hoping that they don't overshadow the funeral, like I said, with some sort of feud of any kind.
The same here. Same here. All right. Well, we thank everyone here for watching again today. It has been a long day for me, but we're glad that you're here and watching. And we look forward to having you visit us next week. All right, everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I did actually want to quickly acknowledge two characters I think have been missing for a moment, though.
Oh, who's missing?
So, did we ever get closure on Martin?
No, we don't know where Martin is. Martin and Scotty, they have gone to where lawyers go. They are missing.
But yeah, I mean, we have that. We have so many missing court cases here and there. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing. But a last note I wanted to, to acknowledge is: do you think we'll get any resolution? Yeah, a question for you, I guess, for future references. Do you think we'll get any resolution as to any of these court cases before this year is over?
Oh, we only have a month. Probably not. We'll never, the Jagger Cates court case will never come to fruition. No one really cares at this point what Sonny did. So there's not going to be any closure to any of those. At least that is my thought. They will. I think they're going to have Ava's case go to court, but I think just in a case to kind of clear her.
But even for that, are we talking about the one with her and Christina, or what about this custody case that started the whole thing?
I was thinking about the custody case, but you're right. The one with Christina, that's a good question. And I'm not quite sure which one which one Rick is fighting for at this point, because it could be either one. Um, so, good question. We'll have to see how that kind of comes out,
But yeah,
or
like I
if it
said,
comes out. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so many interesting storylines, especially even with Isaiah being with every person imaginable and flirting.
Yeah. Yes, Isaiah, who is there operating on people without anyone asking about his license. But the other thing that I want to talk about, and I'm sorry, I did try to say goodbye, but I just hit something, just hit me, and that is in regards to Molly. Molly is busy flirting with everyone now. And so I'm rather amused by this. So I don't know who her new guy is going to be. I'm so sorry, TJ. I did like them together. However, it'll be interesting to see who Molly ends up with now that she has decided that she wants to flirt with Dex, and then Isaiah, and then who knows what other guy will be sitting at whatever bar or restaurant where Molly is just sitting.
Yeah, I'm starting to think. I was thinking about who I'd want together, and I'm thinking as of right now that I'd want Molly and Dex, but then Isaiah and Elizabeth.
Oh, I didn't think about Isaiah and Elizabeth. Huh, that would be interesting to see. Yeah, because Lucky doesn't know who he wants either, so that'll be interesting to watch.
So yeah, I mean, we just have to see, and then who knows who Resurrected Lulu will be looking for.
Yeah, or what Lulu even remembers. But yes. All right. Thank you guys for dealing with our silliness for tonight. And we look forward to you guys watching us again next week. All right. Stay tuned and please like and subscribe or put some comments below. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you
Bye
next
bye.
time.
All right.